Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan. Look, it's Austin the Day Ghost, and we're trying this again. Austin, hopefully this works out this time. Last night we tried, I'm having deja vu. I'm in a causality loop right now. At an hour after right now, last night, we attempted to do a blind commentary on the 1951 Superman and the Mole Men film starring George Reeves, because we just reviewed an hour before that, minutes before that, but starting an hour before that, we reviewed this movie, Hollywoodland, with Ben Affleck as George Reeves, about the murder of George Reeves. And as I mentioned, Austin, last night at the beginning of what was supposed to be this commentary, but we had technical issues and it broke down on us. Hopefully we'll be okay this evening. I've looked into things. It should be okay now. I actually got this in the mail from Stone Gassman, who asked us to do that movie, and it was really cool of him to send it to me, and I totally forgot to mention in the review that we got this, or that I got this anyway. Austin's in Canada. He doesn't live here.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to send me things too, that's okay.
He didn't send us both a copy.
Yeah.
But anyway, everybody, thanks a bunch for being here, and thanks so much for your patience. Already a few people in the comments there. Fidelio says that he watched the movie an hour ago because he didn't think that we would actually end up doing this. I said last night that I wasn't planning on doing this tonight because I didn't think I had time. I had to go see Doctor Strange again tonight. I went to an earlier showing, so was able to do this, and Austin graciously agreed to go ahead and come back so that we could knock this out, which is really funny because this was just an idea I had spur of the moment in the middle of the day yesterday, and now it's turned into like a commitment because folks last night bought or rented the movie so they could watch it with us, and then it didn't work out. I kind of felt bad about that, so I was like, I kind of want to go ahead and do it and not make it one more thing on our list of 30 things that Austin and I don't think that's an exaggeration. We have this big laundry list of things that we keep talking about wanting to do.
Mm-hmm. You know what? You might actually be right. Here, let's see. It might actually be 30. Let's see how many we got here. 1, 2, 3.
He's counting our list. It's a long list. And that's not counting every season of The Simpsons.
Oh,
29?
27. But
so close.
Several of those are like this series. So
that's true. A lot of videos.
Yeah, really, it's a lot over.
We'll never get to all of them. I like your idea of making voting on like the priority from the list a Patreon perk. I think we should do that.
Yeah, and so that it's not like, the entire list. It's not like every week, like, do more Simpsons or something. You could always be like, you pick 2, I pick 2, and then they make the list of things to vote on, and then Patreon can vote.
Absolutely. But anyway, this might not be interesting to anybody watching this right now. We're just we always do this. Stop announcing things. We're just planning things in the middle of our blind commentary, or almost getting into that. We're going to start here in just a second. So if you don't have a copy of this or you haven't rented it yet, whatever happens, we're going to get through this, whether it's horribly choppy or not. I am watching this on Amazon Prime, or rather a Prime rental. It's a $2.99 rental there. Austin actually, it turned out, had it on disc. He just realized. And yeah, I don't have whatever box set you have that had that, I guess. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray set, which I didn't realize came with Superman Returns. I thought it was just the original 4. But I was looking for it yesterday, and I couldn't find it. Today I finally found it. I have like a little record box with records in it, and I don't have enough to fill the box, so I put a few movies in it to fill it. That's where it was. So it was like...
Took you forever to find it.
Exactly.
But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Like I mentioned last night, this is, again, the first full-length feature for Superman. It's actually like 58 minutes long, so like barely. I guess that counted well enough back then. It wasn't serial length.
Well, yeah, a few of the...
serial episode length.
Early Universal monster movies are like around that length. And it's just kind of interesting going backwards. Like, oh, I guess this is a movie back then, but like now it's not.
But I feel like by 51, we're getting late enough in the game that you wouldn't think of a feature as just an hour long. Like
yeah,
late 30s into the 40s maybe, but I feel like 51 is pretty late for that. I don't know if I'm right about that, but...
No, that's fair. This is tripping me out though, because this is
Yeah.
on the disc for the first Superman movie. So it just
Oh.
says Superman the movie, 1978, 58 minutes.
Oh, that's really strange.
It's really weird. It's tripping me out a little on the menu.
It's like looking through a lens of an alternate dimension or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Get it to timestamp 0. Get ready to press play when I say now. Neither Austin or I have watched more than the first 2.5 minutes of this because we started it last night. So we'll probably say all the things we said in the first 2.5 minutes and then move on from there. Here we go, everybody. Get ready. Get your finger on the button. I passed all the menus if you're watching on disc. And here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. So, Austin, you made the point before that this looks right away like maybe you're about to be watching a Fleischer cartoon.
Yeah, with the big title, and then even just the way it's like, starring George Reeves. Like, this entire credits, it reminds me of watching like Looney Tunes cartoons. Just like the way that we did cartoons back in those days.
Yeah, and even the music a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's just like right away you're like, oh, here we go.
And it's a good
It's
full
cartoon.
orchestral sound. I don't mean to say that it's too cartoony or not worthy of a big screen film, but a lot of Warner Brothers cartoons were also kind of that way, especially the more serious ones, or the ones that were playing at being serious but were actually jokey. Like, you could, and also this sounds a little bit like the Fleischer cartoons, but you could imagine this very score for like a Duck Dodgers or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and music's a big part of those. I mean, it's in the name. A lot
Yep.
of people think it's, tunes and cartoons, but it's music tunes.
That's a good point.
I mentioned this last night too, but this reminds me of the Superman movie thing where you have it's stars instead of credits, but you have them coming at the camera in space.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before, it's the actual images that you're seeing before George Reeves pops in are animated themselves. So you might be kind of jarred because everything you've seen until he shows up is not a live-action thing. On the other hand, the last time you might have been to the theater, if you're a kid or a parent taking their kids to see a Superman thing, it would have been a serial and you would have seen a live-action person. And I don't know if those also had animated credits, because I've only seen the first couple episodes of that, and it's been a while. Fidelio says there's very little Superman in the Superman movie.
There's also very little movie in this movie, so that makes
Because
sense.
it's pretty short. This was used as the pilot for the TV series, and so it's not surprising that we might not expect a whole lot of action here. And I've been told that at least all the Mole Men stuff is cut out, which is why I wanted to go ahead and watch the actual features so that we could see everything that was filmed and put in this. But it's reminding me of the serials from this period right away. We're like,
I love how all of these construction workers have like vastly different costumes, and like one of them is a cowboy hat instead of a hard hat. Ooh, I guess they're criminals, so.
and he looks a lot, and I guess until you get a close-up on his face, but from a little bit farther off, he was reminding me a lot of the guy from I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh.
Fidelio, I don't know how you can cut that stuff out. It's basically what everything is built around. I would be really curious after I've seen this to then watch that pilot. But if I understand it, George Reeves was, and this is just stuff I got from what little research I did on Hollywoodland and stuff that's in the movie. But as far as I understand it, he was cast for the TV show, and then I guess this was made kind of as a TV pilot that they then put in the theater? Is that how that worked?
For what? Sorry, I'm reading the comments and then like I missed the start of it. What was chopped?
I'm just saying, was this originally like intended as a feature, or is he? Because the way it plays in Hollywoodland, it's like he was cast for a TV show. There's never even any talk of a film, and the fact that he's going to go in the movie theater.
Talks about it as a pilot,
but he wasn't a TV actor.
Yeah. Yeah, no. In that movie, at least, they talk like it's the pilot for a show, and then it gets picked up 2 years later.
Robert Wild, I have that Superman Blu-ray box set, and I literally didn't know this was on there. I just put the disc in, and I'm fast-forwarding a little to catch up. Let us know in the comments there if you need a timestamp.
My favorite thing about watching old movies like this is how everybody talks, where it's that like old-timey like, what's going on here, see?
Well, and I wonder if with this early Superman stuff that's played up even a little bit more than some other movies and family things at the time, because Superman starts for a lot of people as in an extra media as a radio show.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure.
And so these things were, especially the serials, like were really playing to the sensibilities of that radio show.
Yeah, like I don't know anything about the radio show, but from what you've told me, it sounds like that was pretty influential. Like even when we talked about the '60s Spider-Man show, you were saying that it sounded like he was. They were looking at that too.
Morgan Edge comes from that. I think Lex Luthor is in that show, but I'm fuzzy on whether he starts there, and I'm pretty sure he starts actually in comics, but I think he's called Luthor initially, and then he gets the Lex moniker later, but I'm pretty sure he actually shows up in the radio show. But I haven't listened to any of that in a long time, and never more than a few episodes. I have a book of scripts from that, which is really interesting to look at.
Yeah, I'm surprised they never tried to do Lex in this show.
Oh, Daniel Davis says Morgan Edge was a Kirby creation. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought for sure he was created for that radio play. Well, thanks for tuning in to get your misinformation for the day. I also never know what my left hand is doing. It's always a good idea to do blind commentaries on really talky things.
Oh, of course. Well, you never know. This has a riff tracks, apparently, so...
Does it really?
Yeah, it's apparently.
Well, they probably only have 4 jokes in the whole thing. Because they're usually not talking over people talking in those.
Oh, really? I've never watched riff tracks.
Well, I mean, they're handled the same way MST3K is, and they're usually not talking... That's surprising to me, because you seem like an MS23K guy to me. Like, that seems like totally up your alley, the kind of thing you'd really dig, but...
Well, I like riffing on stuff with people. It's just... Yeah, I've never seen either of those. I've always wanted to see Mystery Science Theater.
So, this is the same Lois Lane that was in the serials, and she'll be in the beginning of the TV show, but then replaced for the majority of that show with Noelle Neal, who I saw in person just, I want to say, 3 or 4 years before she passed away, and she was... She went to Superman Celebration every year for a number of years and was known as the First Lady of Metropolis, or at least a lot of years, and was known as the, again, I don't want to give misinformation. She showed up there quite a bit, and she was known as the First Lady of Metropolis, and there's a big Superman statue in the square of Metropolis, Illinois, and there's a much smaller Noelle Neal statue that they erected just a bit before she died.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's in a different place. I forget where exactly. It's on a street corner, and I forget where now. I think maybe it's actually in front of, now that I'm thinking about it, their town hall or something, but I forget.
Oh my god, it's Gargamel.
That skull cap is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because he's got hair that goes up into the bald cap. Right? Am I seeing this right?
No, you can see the scene.
Mr. Green says the mad scientist concept might start with a radio show, even though Lex Luthor does, in fact, come from the comics. And that's... I was thinking maybe that was the case, which is why I kind of stopped in my tracks and corrected myself a little, because I was like, no, I remember really early issues with Lex, but I also remembered something Lex-like in the radio show, so I wasn't sure. Oh, that's right, Daniel Davis. I'm so rusty on this stuff. It's all coming back to me now. Okay, so he's corrected me on this as well. So Noelle Neal, I forgot about this, plays Lois in the first place in the serial. And then this actress, Phyllis, what's-her-face, replaces her. And then Noelle Neal comes back. I forgot about that. Sorry, what's that?
So it starts with a D, Phyllis, like Davis or something. I don't know. Are these mole men midgets? I can't tell because there's nobody else around, but it's like...
Phyllis Coates, yeah, thanks.
Oh, Phyllis Coates. Oh, so I was way off.
Keep in mind that the point of this is just for us to experience it in the first place. We've never seen this, and I don't know this period very well at all, as you can tell. I've warmed up a lot to doing more reaction videos.
Reaction. Hello, folks. I'm Captain Logan. I am doing a reaction video for you today. Today I will be reacting to the new Elvis clip, which everybody should check out the clip that came out of the Elvis movie today.
Austin thinks that whole thing is hilarious and won't stop talking about it. Anyway, I don't know why thanks for dating this commentary real hard.
Well, I don't know. I thought the commentary was very pretty, so I wanted to date it.
So for obvious reasons, we're spending most of our time here with investigative reporting as opposed to like actual superhero shenanigans. And I know this isn't a serial, but the serials did that. The TV show did that. It's gonna be kind of like Incredible Hulk in the '70s, where you've got your kind of token scenes where he hulks out, but the majority of it is investigating something or a character drama.
I think that's how a lot of Golden Age Superman plays, where it'll be a lot of Clark Kent kind of figuring out stuff, and then he'll find the criminals or whatever, and then it'll end with Superman kind of bursting in.
The eyebrows are just freaking me out. Is anybody else wanting the heads to go up into a point? Like they really want to be cone heads, like real bad.
They're like cone heads if they got like their cones like hammered in.
That is unfortunate. If it's true that the mole men were cut out of the TV pilot, I don't see how.
Maybe they just like filmed some other villain thing and they like combined it through editing.
Lois cannot believe her eyes. She's just like,
God,
those skull caps! They went to the dollar store, put them on over their heads. They're hideous. I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen so little hair in my life. Oh. It is the 50s.
Of moles in great big human heads.
I'm ever so frightened.
So this is real typical, right? Where your female lead with her effeminate sensibilities can't deal with the ugly thing that she just saw, and then the man's just like, "Yep, those were some creepy mole people right there."
Time to go get the hounds. There's evil afoot.
Although perhaps Superman's not allowed to be fair. Maybe it's not a wholly gender thing. Maybe he's just not allowed to be scared of anything because he's Superman. Or it's like, well, he's not going to be freaked out by that. What's it going to do to him? He's Superman.
Well, he might shave his hair off.
Mr. Green Beanie says the TV pilot is just the origin again. So it's not that... Why am I getting conflicting information about this?
What if it's, like, combined?
I don't know. Maybe so. Because we were going to do that, and then I read that that's what this was, and I was like, well, let's just do the movie. Because I've meant to do a rewind on this for years, and I just keep forgetting about it. And apparently don't own a copy.
It's hiding somewhere.
I don't think I have it. Because I don't have that Superman Blu-ray set that you have. My Supermans are still the big DVD box set that they put out in '06 with Superman Returns. And I thought it was in there, because there's some other stuff in there.
So it's not even in that. I thought you meant you just couldn't find that.
I thought it was in that. It's not. So I don't think I have a copy. But when I said, maybe I just can't find it, I just meant, like, I flipped through that real fast. It was like, maybe there's a disc I didn't notice while I was, like, in a hurry, but I don't think so. I think it's just not in there.
Yeah, because on here, both this and the Fleischer cartoons are on the DVD or Blu-ray for the original movie. I figured it would be on a bonus disc.
Fidelio, I'm loving your comments tonight. He says, to be fair, that's still true. I still have to kill bugs for women.
Like, actually, though. Very true.
That's really funny. Daniel Davis makes a terrific point. He says everybody's trying to outdo Humphrey Bogart. I think that's to the way people talk comment.
Yeah. Yeah, you put it in a smarter way. Well, I just went, everybody talks like this.
So these are going to be literal mole people. They've been living subterranean forever, and nobody knows about them. Maybe we talked about this last night. I've never cared for this premise in anything. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't care about it in Fantastic Four. It's the one Tick episode I tend to skip.
And it's the thing I want for the first Fantastic Four MCU movie is Mole Man.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll win me over on it finally.
Maybe they'll cast Jack Black as Mole Man.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I heard that as a rumor yesterday, and that made me laugh.
I would love Jack Black as an MCU villain, though.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to see if he could do that, yeah. I mean, Mole Man's not exactly the most, scary, threatening villain, but,
No, that's true. And if you got Jack Black to do it, they'd be more likely to want to do it in something a lot more comedic. Unless they make a really funny Fantastic Four movie. I honestly don't think they'll go super goofy. I'm sure it'll have some of the, standard humor that a lot of MCU things have, but
yeah.
I really think that they'll try to bring some of the scary science stuff to it that that Fantastic Four stick attempted to do, but kind of failed at ultimately, and just in making it a good piece because of all the insanity that happened behind the scenes with that movie. But
yeah, for sure. My main worry.
I'm tiptoeing around on this because I'm feeling this way after seeing Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange sequel. With some of the things that they handle in that.
You just want every MCU film to be horror now. That's it. This is the new tone. I
just think they appreciate some of that material in them, or at least Raimi did. Mr. Ribini, y'all really gonna sit here and blaspheme the FF Mole Man? I mean, everybody has their own tastes. Like, I've always been just kind of indifferent to that. I don't know.
Mole Man's one of the few. Cause I'm not a big Fantastic Four guy. That's one of those books I've always really needed to read, but haven't. So it's I only know a handful of Fantastic Four villains, and he's the first. So it's I'd Mole Man to be the main villain.
So if I'm shooting this, I think I would want to keep the Mole Men kind of more in shadow and make you kind of wonder about what they look like.
Exactly the way that we're doing it. Look at them hiding in the bush.
I just think we could
get evil munchkins. I love it.
I just think we could get a little bit more atmospheric about it, and kind of build some suspense out of it, because we're spending a lot of time talking about them and how we don't know what they are, and they're kind of creepy. and they're supposed to have presence even when they're not on screen. But then when you cut back to them, there they are.
They're like little black turtlenecks.
Meanwhile, back at the Mole Men.
Meanwhile, in a random field.
You asked me last night how much I was expecting this to have in common with the unreleased Roger Corman Fantastic Four film, and I mean, you're looking at it like a decent amount, really. But no, I get that the FF Mole Man is a real kind of iconic looking character, if nothing else. But I want Molecule Man in the first FF movie. One. I really want that. Robert Wild, I also miss turtlenecks, but I feel like you and I have had that conversation recently.
A snake, run!
Oh no, it's an irradiated flower.
Oh, maybe I'm like a little bit ahead of you.
I had a little bit of buffering issue earlier.
Oh, okay.
But you're not much ahead. Are you just to the snake?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a couple seconds ahead. Yeah. But no, I was just gonna say, like, I wonder if I wonder if there's
playing with a ball while I'm reading in bed.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if TGRI ooze is responsible for that flower.
Oh yeah.
Fidelio, they remind me of the Oompa Loompas. Yeah, and the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah, the Munchkins.
The Munchkins.
I've been waiting this whole time for them to meet somebody so that I could yell, "We represent the Lollipop Guild." Oh no.
So are we going to do the whole, like, children have better imaginations than adults and they're more innocent, so they'll be accepting of anything they don't understand? Because, like, this little 7-year-old girl sitting in her bed sees these super creepy mole men coming through her window, but Lois is like...
I don't know, I'm pretty sure they ate that little girl. Oh my god, they are getting a hunt together. They'll get their guns to go kill the mole men. This is wonderful.
So, like I said, this is really funny. So, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Adventures of Superman, and what I have seen, it's been a little while. I want to say Corrigan is a regular character in that, but I don't know if I'm right about that. Robert just said, "Well, that kid is so dead."
Yeah. No, absolutely. They're climbing in our windows, snatching our kids up, trying to eat them.
Fidelio wrote "Evil dies tonight." This is very realistic for this time period, and it's that this is what they would go do. I mean, not the mole men specifically. But, like, it's important to have historic what about old Pop Shannon?
Clark, you can't go out and solve this all by yourself. Don't you know that evil dies tonight?
But yeah, it's important to have some historical perspective, and to remember that in 1951, like, we haven't seen as much, you know, freaky and creepy monsters and things even in movies. So, like, stuff that wouldn't begin to, like, we're way more desensitized, obviously, just a couple of decades after this even. And so, like, I'm not saying that people would have been, like, mystified and blown away by these guys necessarily, but I am saying that if you can use your imagination to what they're trying to make you, you know, imagine these guys really look like, besides what the actual prosthetics are. If this happened in real life in 1951, this is probably what a small town of people would do. It would be, you might end up with the torches and pitchforks kind of situation.
Well, and that scene specifically reminded me a lot of the original Invisible Man. I don't know if you ever watched that, but there's a scene just like that where they find, after they find out about the Invisible Man.
There's some epic screams in this.
I know, I wasn't prepared for that.
Robert, I had exactly that thought when the kid went to the little girl's window, which is why I said, oh, children can accept things that are different in a way that adults can't, where we have to, hate and fear. It's X-Men again. We have to, hate and fear anything we don't understand. Because he says, oh, God, this is going to turn into a really dated, unfortunate attempt at racial allegory. I think that's exactly what we're doing here so far. Dale Davis, that scream had to be extremely loud. Oh wait, we got our first suit up for Superman here.
Yep. Oh my God, Superman landed with like a doom sound effect.
Oh, he's not landed yet. He's still flying. Oh yeah, you're maybe a good 15 seconds ahead of me. So what was that like? Superman boot cam? Because it wasn't like a POV shot. We're seeing the ground like from behind him at about foot level.
Guy has a gun. Superman walks over. He tries to hit him with the gun. So he's shooting him.
So he is doing the classic try to play Clark and Superman as different characters thing, which, again, the radio show does first, and everybody kind of mimics that afterwards. Well, I don't think the reason that punch didn't land on Superman is because he's Superman. I think it didn't land because it was a really bad stage punch. Okay, so this was my big question, Austin, after watching Hollywoodland, is would we watch this and it would feel like George Reeves is just going through the motions and doesn't really want to be here? What's your verdict so far on that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like, I feel like he's got presence, and
yeah,
he's running a show.
Yeah, it's not like the most brilliant thing ever, but he's not bad. And it's not like, yeah, I really don't want to be here. See, I think we could get a twist, though, in this, and there could be a giant cat man, and we'll find out that the mole men are just thing 1 and thing 2.
Has that been written yet?
Certainly. Didn't you know that it was written specifically for this?
Oh.
It was like a tie-in book. That little girl is one of the kids from that book, actually.
Well, I never thought I'd hear Superman say window. I don't know if it's my imagination or if George Reeves really does look a lot younger here than he does just a couple of years after this in the series, or if it's just like maybe his haircut's slightly different or something, but he looks really different to me than how I'm used to seeing him.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is my first time seeing actual George Reeves, so...
Dale Davis says he's a good B actor. Yeah, I agree with what we've seen so far as I'm talking over it.
Certainly a sound effect for his flying.
Yep, always got to play up the mistaken identity for the audience. The kids are supposed to be laughing at Superman knows where Clark Kent is. See, because he's the same person. And I mean, there's a wink at the audience about that in almost every episode of that show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he'll look right into the camera.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he does that in Hollywoodland, too.
Well, there's a lot of later Superman stuff that like plays homage to that quite a bit.
She's got two like little bald men on top of a like a dam or a bridge, and they're just gonna shoot them down.
What menacing villains. But I guess they're not supposed to be. They're just kind of misunderstood. But the problem is, when you put... they just lay down with their heads, like, almost touching.
Their bald heads touching, yeah.
But I was just going to say, when you put Mole Men in the title, it sounds like a monster movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, it sounds like you're going to go to the theater and be thrilled by the creepiness of these monsters. And, like, I think you could do that and simultaneously, like, come to sympathize with them at the end, too. That's Frankenstein, of course.
Why
yeah,
would you try to
Superman's...
punch him if bullets...
Superman's standing up for the Mole Men. They're going to be the victims.
No!
In this whole situation. There's a bug on my face.
One of the Mole Men died.
One of them just fell behind the dam? What? Okay, so the shot where he grabs one of the Mole Men as he falls. First of all, I don't fully understand what's going on there, because we saw one drop, and then the scene cuts, and then it drops again. But also, was like a second and a half of that animated?
Yeah, it looked like it.
It looked like it. I want to go back and freeze frame that.
Oh my god, it hurts. It hurts.
Robert Wildcat, man is the true monster, obviously. Yes. I understood the moral of the story about 7 minutes into the story, I think.
Well, since it's the 50s, I wanted it to be like a super, like, wrong moral by the end, where Superman comes in and he's like, don't you see, everybody? These mole men were perfectly fine. They just need to remember to stay in their mole land.
Know your place, kids.
Mole people belong with other mole people, not with regular people.
When you grow up, kids, make sure not to marry a mole man. We gotta make sure and keep this small town racially pure.
And remember, some kids think it's okay to jump into a washing machine. If you think it's okay to do that, you're really all wet.
And don't jump off a dam, but if you do, don't worry. A cartoon Superman might grab you and take you to safety. To my earlier point about George Reeves looking younger here, Mr. Green Beanie says, in the 50s, people had cigarettes as a palate cleanser between every meal. I'm sure George Reeves aged 15 years in just 5, and I'm sure there is some truth to that. Nikki T, I feel like a pulp-inspired 40s Superman movie where he fights big monsters would do really well.
What if the
I
new
don't know if you could...
Poets JJ movie is just this for 2 hours?
I was going to say, I don't know if you could release that in the theater now and expect it to reach anything but a really niche audience. It would kind of depend on how you did it. I think it, as a period thing, very possibly, as long as it was, large enough story and scope. I am imagining, like a HBO Max sort of vignette thing, where you do, 15, 20-minute shorts and do something like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
But I think in animation, you absolutely could do that. Because I think Batman's is about to absolutely prove that. It's something really similar to that. And I hope we get a Superman counterpart if that's good.
We are getting a Superman cartoon.
Well, yeah, but is it...
But it's not the same thing where it's like old school 40s.
I knew we were getting...
at the same time.
I knew we were getting something, but I'm just saying that, like, I kind of hope if that does well, we could get a counterpart that does something similar.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I am interested to see what that Superman show is going to be like. I'm not crazy about the art style, but we'll see.
Yeah, I honestly forgot we even had any pictures of that until you said that.
Yeah, because it's got like a more like light anime-ish look.
Yeah. He's miming, you guys.
Oh, we gotta get that mole man. He's miming.
Don't mime me, I'm a mole man.
You can't mime here. This is Clown County.
I just couldn't believe he walked up to a barbed wire fence and just did this. And I was like, is there a fence there? I can't tell. And then these guys walked up to a fence that didn't look like it was there, and then it was there, and I was like, oh, maybe he wasn't miming. Maybe there was a fence there. That footage is sped up.
Of course.
I'm feeling really bad for these mole men. Oh, wait, no, I'm not, because I don't like mole men.
So mean. I love the mole man. I was like legitimately distraught when the one died.
You were legitimately distraught when one dropped, and then 2 seconds later you watched it drop again?
Yeah, and he got shot in the heart. That's not okay. See, I feel like this is the Disney Robin Hood, where you get the climax and it's like everything's just building and building, and you're like, oh man, like how's he gonna get out of here? And he's like slowly climbing to the top of the burning building, and everything's going crazy. It's that intense.
Did we put the same movie in? I'm not sure we're watching the same thing. How is there still 22 minutes of this left? I feel like we're in the climax right now. I mean, it doesn't feel like a big climactic end, but for what we've had so far, it feels like what we would probably... That's probably what we would get with this. But I guess...
Yeah, Superman's still gotta rescue this mole man.
But is that going to take 22 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like 4 guys there. He's gonna fight all of them. I
Nikki
agree.
says...
Have your prejudice against
My prejudice against mole men is bleeding through. Yeah, well... I just can't help it. Look, I mean, like, I don't want anything bad to happen to this mole man, but... I'm watching a Superman movie. I'm sure he's going to be fine.
Cap's like, if I had a bakery, I wouldn't give cakes to mole men.
We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. No skull caps allowed. Robert says it's so dense. There's so much going on.
There is.
Oh my God! He just said roast the critter alive, Austin.
Sorry, what?
He just said roast the critter alive.
Oh my God! I can't believe they used such a slur.
They're gonna burn it down. What, creature?
No, critter.
I think you said. Did I say critter or creature?
You said critter, I think.
Oh, I don't even know what it is now.
I heard critter.
I thought, and that guy looks a little bit like Andy Griffith. They're gonna burn it down.
Oh no! The burning.
You're burning down the Lollipop Guild.
This is worse than the hanging Munchkin theory.
Do you think Superman is gonna have freeze breath in this?
Possibly. I don't know. It's hard to say like what powers they can actually showcase. Oh my God, this poor little fella. He's so scared.
Everybody says window.
He's like right next to the fire, at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's gonna make it out of this, or if he does, he's gonna at least end up with lung cancer.
See, this is intense. Like, I don't want this mole man to die.
But I'm spending this whole time like, where's Superman right now?
I think the mole man's wondering that too. Where's Superman? You'll help me, please. I'm burning.
I'm getting a big Zorro vibe from this.
Oh yeah.
Just in the production value and the the kinds of backdrops we've got. Settings, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Fidelio, I still like this more than Superman 3.
I like this more than like the majority of Superman movies. You know it's bad when my number 3 Superman film of all time is 4.
Well, after the first two, it kind of goes downhill from there.
Exactly, it's like 1. Actually, because I like 2 a little more than 1, so it's like 2, 1, 4, giant chasm. But now in the middle of the chasm, I can put this.
And also, the main ideological basis for Austin's worldview is if it's old, it's better. That's just how Austin looks at the world. Old things are better than new things.
That's not true.
Oh, okay. You can be in denial about that if you want to, but...
My favorite Batman movie came out, like, this year.
Oh. Well, there's exceptions to every rule.
Oh, okay.
Thomas Lozoro absolutely predates this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's at least one Zorro silent film, but but the TV show obviously will be a little bit after this, and it just kind of reminds me of that.
Well, and how does Zorro start? I'm not even sure. Like, is that originally like a prose thing, or is?
I'm not sure if that was in prose first.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact. Like,
I'm not confident to say. I'd have to look it up. I don't.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a pulp thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the silent film is an adaptation of something that existed before that. I don't think that's the actual first Zorro thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, he is saying critter. I guess that was what it was. Yeah.
Such horrible language. But no, Superman 4 hits my number 3 spot because it's the only one that's enjoyable and also a Superman movie after 1 and 2. Although I still have to see 3, to be fair. But it does sound like 3 is the worst one.
I mean, it is.
And I always thought 4 was directed by Lester until, like, recently.
Nikki says Zorro was prose in the early 1900s and was the originator of the pulp genre. That was my guess. Like, I thought it started in prose, but I just wasn't 100% sure.
Oh my God, they're gonna string up the Mole Man. No.
You guys don't have anything better to do. All the Mole Men are doing is walking around.
No, but they're touching things and they make them glow.
Oh.
We don't like glowing, and that was like a mix between their voice and the Mole Man voice. We don't like glowing in our neighborhood, see?
The other thing this is really reminding me of, story-wise, is the episode of Star Trek: The Original Series with the Horda.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's this kind of similar thing where there's a creature, while these guys are trying to do a mining operation, that's in their way, and they're trying to get rid of it.
Robert Wilde started a comment with a mole man and got murdered, and all I could hear in the middle of my in my head was like, A mole man died in New York tonight.
Wow, Superman, how dare you do the humane thing?
The milk of human kindness? Is that a saying?
I'm glad
I
you
don't-
caught that. That's amazing.
I
That's a
like-
great line. I wouldn't treat a dog like this. This is not a dog hospital. Even Clark thought that was a weird line. He goes, milk of human kindness.
I don't know why I said that. I gotta get out of here.
Robert says, I honestly thought there would be more than 2 mole men. Yeah, I did too. I also had that.
They only have enough money for 2.
I mean, I could have had the same actors playing different mole men in different places, maybe. But if you had to get them all together, you might have a problem if you could only afford 2.
I love that we just cut back to the mob, and the sheriff walks in. He's like, you're under arrest, Benson." He just gets punched in the face.
I just got to that. Didn't that hurt? He gets punched in the face. He just stands back up. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't grab his face or anything. It's like nothing.
Yeah, and then next immediately, this like surgeon guy is like, "Oh, these mole men, they're physically a lot like us." Of course they are. They're just little bald people. They have like little hobbit hands.
But I do like that, especially if this was a TV pilot, I like the idea of starting with something a little more supernatural, because a lot of the episodes of that show are just going to be, like thieves and, conspiracies and stuff like that. And it's Superman, he's got superpowers, he lives in a world that it has aliens and stuff, and he is an alien himself. So it's kind of nice to start off going, like, here are the kinds of stories we could tell.
Robert Wilde says,
Especially comparing it to a Batman or something.
People are, I guess, are debating about where the milk of human kindness thing comes from, either Shakespeare or Christmas Carol.
Oh, really? That's actually a saying.
Nemesis, the Christmas Carol.
Because Clark did not seem to be familiar with it. Or maybe he was just rolling his eyes that guy was being prudish and quoting something from literally Milk of Human Kindness. My face.
As you were saying that, Robert Wilde started quoting the Rorschach thing, I guess because I said that about his comment earlier. So then all I could hear was like, what is this, the milk of human kindness? Yeah, human milk of human kindness.
How's your milk of human kindness, Rorschach? Fine like this.
Milk.
I want to see Austin I don't know what's making me think of this, except just a big mob walking down a street. I want to see a Superman zombie story. I think, like, the Last Man on Earth story where, like, you're overrun with zombies, but the last man that's left is Superman could be a really cool story.
Basically like DC's, but without the other heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be an interesting idea.
It's like, how super tragic would that be for Superman, specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, he tries to set the example and show humanity how much better it could be if it really wanted to be, and then we all lose ourselves and he's the only one left. Like, what does that do to Superman's psyche?
Yeah, and when there's nobody that's like super powered that's a zombie, like none of them can bite him in order to like turn him into one, so he's like forever the only survivor.
Yeah. So like he is immune, but he couldn't save them because none of his powers would stop that.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Oh, this choreography is beautiful.
None of you can be trusted with guns. I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm Superman. I'm gonna take all your arms away, and I'm gonna keep them, and they're mine now.
Well, it's especially funny because like a minute before he said that, he was like, "Oh, you guys are acting like a bunch of Nazis. Now I'm gonna take all your guns.
Now I'm gonna be
Then only I will have
I'm gonna be a
guns."
fascist dictator and take all your weapons away from you.
Oh my God, he's got a mole man death ray. Oh, now there's more mole men. Heck
Oh, we do get more
yeah.
mole men.
There's like a little chubby mole man.
I'm oversimplifying that whole thing to some degree. Like they are kind of being really irresponsible and not treating these mole men very humanely.
Well, do you want mole men coming into your house and playing with your children?
I mean, if they're nice enough, I guess. I don't know. Maybe somebody could turn me around on the mole men.
This like
As a
chubby
concept.
one. Yeah, this guy's a good guy.
You know, I like the whole town is borderline kind of breaking the law en masse, so you could make an argument, I guess, that Superman is maybe doing the right thing by doing that, but just something about it doesn't. Something about just Superman being like all powerful and indestructible, taking away everybody's guns and keeping them and like hanging on to them does not sit well with me. And we've talked about this before, Austin, with Superman 4.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking about that too.
It's a little
Just
different
three
when
little
it's
people
weapons of
with a-
mass destruction and when you're talking about, like, nations versus nations, of course. You know, this is kind of in a microcosm of that.
Just three little people walking down the street that are bald, all with like a weird giant death gun that's like bigger than they are. What a weird image. And like the heavy ones walking around like.
I just want to read this comment real quick from Brandon Hembry, whose name I don't recognize. Hi there. He says, I wish I'd gotten here earlier. I just recently watched this whole series through, and this movie is awful, but the show rules. Check out the Superman on Earth episode. Their Krypton is awesome. I have not seen that, and I didn't know if the show ever actually depicted a Krypton like the serial does. And I mentioned that last night when we tried to watch this, that the opening episode of the serial surprisingly just straight up does Krypton pretty straight, and they have Jor-El, and he's really good. And their sets look nice for what they had to work with.
Don't trust him, mole man. He's gonna unleash the riot on you.
Do we know that they can even understand what he's saying?
Whoa, 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 Cap. Whoa. You think the mole men aren't civilized? They can't speak?
No, they might have their own language. I mean, like, they have their own
Language? Whoa,
civilization.
Cap, whoa.
Would you stop that? They're basically aliens. So, like, they're underground, but, like, they have an isolated culture.
I don't know.
I'm just saying it's kind of weird that Superman would walk up to them and just assume that they spoke his language.
That's the 50s.
And I'm not saying that they're not civilized, but at the same time, it is weird that they don't talk to each other or have any kind of sign language. They just did this. Like, their communication is just holding their hands up and putting them down. Robert, 3 mole men is too many mole men.
Exactly. Oh no. I can't I can't see another mole man die.
Again, you're a little ahead of me, Austin, but I just thought that shot of all the townspeople in one small corridor was really funny. Where they're all peeking around the corner.
Wait to see the mole man shoot Benson.
Oh, that's great. That's classic. They're not even... They're disappearing before they even hit him. The way the laser fire is animated. That's amazing. Brandon, yeah, the show's Krypton is interesting because I think both Donner and Snyder both had to see it at some point. I heard you talk about the serial last night, and I own that, but haven't watched it. Yeah, I really thought that Donner had to be looking at the serial, too. But like I said, I haven't seen their Krypton. And it's also possible that just going back to the source material, you land on some of the same things.
I love how in order to shoot
go now
gun, one mole man had to like bend down so that the other mole man could rest the gun on his back so that they could like steady the aim. That's just ingenuity right there.
Wow! Sorry, I love that line. You saved my life, Superman. That's more than you deserve. You bigot. No, this is great, though. I mean, this is obviously classic Superman ideology, and he's got, very enlightened sensibilities. To be fair, he doesn't have to worry about the radiation or anything, so, I mean, it's kind of easier... Arguably, it's maybe easier for Superman to, be... Again, not afraid of the mole men or anything.
Why is there, like, an actual hatch that opens up into the mole man world?
I mean, character-wise, besides just, like, he's the stalwart hero that's always right about everything, I couldn't tell you why, Superman is more enlightened about this than anybody else in this town.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think they ever mention Metropolis. It's just they live in Salisbury or whatever.
Yeah, like, do they actually live there, or did they just show up to investigate this? Obviously, we were talking over the beginning.
I guess it's no longer known for the deepest well. All those mole men are dead.
I assumed it was kind of just like an X-Files thing, where it's like they go to this town and they're looking into something, and then...
Yeah,
that explosion. Robert said, consider this mercy, earlier when Superman was like, that's more than you deserve.
I could turn you and all these mole men into stains, but I won't, because I'm Superman.
But I always like a Superman with kind of a righteous anger.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's, like, very classic Superman. Like, Golden Age, I think, is a lot more like that.
Yeah. The kind of street crusader Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't moved too far away from that yet. At least in extra media, because we're getting into that period where DC is getting real goofy all around.
Yeah, and I don't know.
We're already to like Superman juggling planets and dealing with like various colors of kryptonite and clones all the time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, and it's always really interesting to me to see this stuff adapted really early on.
Yeah.
Kind of like with the 60s Spider-Man show where, like, Betty's the love interest. Like, you could only get that when you made it that early.
Yeah. Lois is barely in that. She does not have a lot to do.
No, because she was so frightened by the mole men.
Yeah. I didn't care for that.
That's 50s.
Yeah, but she's not. If memory serves, she's not characterized that way as much in the TV show. Like it seems like as you get into that show, she'll be a little bit, stronger of a female character, and like she's an investigative reporter, and she's really ambitious, and isn't going to be, so easily freaked out by things.
Well, she did try to start doing that, and then Superman was like, "No, be quiet."
I'm here. You don't actually have to accomplish anything.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I better go and like make a story about this," and he was like, "No, it'll cause mass hysteria."
Robert says, "I still think that little girl is totally dead." Yeah, we never saw her again. And I expected to cut back to that at some point. We never did.
Oh, it was when the mom screamed.
Or did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
okay.
cut back to them playing, and then the mom screams, and then then they ate her.
So yeah, that ended up being kind of a weird thing to try to do blind, because like I said, it is pretty talky and it's a little dragged out, and like it's only an hour long. It's supposed to be a feature, but it easily could have been like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's really awkward because Superman ended up being wrong. He was like, "Oh, don't hurt the mole men; they're cool," and they blew up their oil thing. Like, Superman.
Yeah, what are you supposed to take from that at the end? Because, like, you're obviously supposed to be with him where he's like, let's not judge them because they're different. Let's not hurt them just because we don't understand them. Or, like, they can't be, we have to be worried about radiation or whatever, but they can't be doing that on purpose. And then I wasn't really sure, because, again, we were talking over it. I wasn't really sure what the intent was at the end. Like, I didn't know if the explosion was an accident or...
Look, town, we got to do better.
But, like, what were they after at the end of the day?
I don't know, they wanted to eat children. That's all I got.
But, like, did they go up there to blow up the oil rig? Or was the idea that, like,
no, 'cause he
some
put
of
back
them...
in and then they blew it up. Probably because it ended with Superman making them go back into the hole in the ground.
Robert, the true mole men were the friends we made along the way.
In a way, I got what I wanted because he was like, "It's okay, mole man, I'll help you," and he just throws them back into their mole world.
Well, Thomas Slow, definitely fantastic for mole men over this, because these were either not villains at all and were just misunderstood, or they were just kind of lame, little henchman villains trying to blow up an oil rig. Like,
if 40 minutes of the first MCU Fantastic Four movie is just Jack Black in in a shed that's on fire trying to escape.
HB Haga, they were just trying to make a noise complaint and things got a little out of hand. But yeah, like, they do come out with a huge weapon.
Oh, Brandon says that this movie is the season finale of the show, but it's cut down.
Oh, I guess the whole reason they were trying to blow up the drill shaft was so that they could cut off their world from the surface world, so that they wouldn't be in danger. So they had like an actual motivation that wasn't malicious, Okay. So we still were supposed to sort of side with them, where it's like the humans are the real aggressors, and they're taking the path of least resistance, which is why they're doing something destructive.
So it still ended with mole men and people can't live in the same place. They have to be in their separate worlds and never meet again.
Yeah, but because... Yeah, but
maybe
not...
a little bit of a mixed...
No, I don't think so. Because I think the idea is supposed to be, like, it isn't that we should be, like racist against people that don't look like us. It's, we're not ready to do, like these people weren't ready to do the right thing because they're not enlightened enough. Their hearts aren't in the right place at the moment when, screw it, we're just gonna not deal with you people anymore. And Superman's trying to get them to live in harmony, and the humans are proving that they're not gonna do that. And so, like, and again, I'm trying to analyze a thing that we talked over, but like maybe the idea is we need to get to that place, but we're not there yet, and like that's really sad, and that's not right. Is maybe what it's trying to say.
All I know is that I hope someday the mole men come back.
Sure.
But it
maybe
is
with
weird.
slightly better prosthetics next time.
Yeah. No, I want them to look worse. It is weird that we never got Superman going down to like the mole world, even for like a shot where it's like, oh, he like looks down and he sees. I don't know.
Did you do a matte painting?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway, everybody, thanks a lot for watching this with us. That was an interesting experience. I was kind of indifferent to it. I didn't love that, but it's, I guess, not a terrible starting place. I want to. I mean, who knows? In 1951, I don't know what I would have been like in 1951.
Yeah.
But I wonder if people went and saw that in the theater and were thrilled by it, or found it, a little bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is still my fourth favorite Superman movie.
And comparing it to the TV show, obviously there's a lot more energy to that show. It's got kind of a quippy supporting cast. You don't have, like you said, we don't go to Metropolis. We don't really talk about Metropolis, so you don't have any of the rest of the supporting cast. You've got no Jimmy. You've got no Perry White.
Yeah, that is true. I did figure that Jimmy at least would show up in this, but
Yeah.
Nope.
I thought so too. But anyway, so, well, we got through it this time. So anyway, thanks a lot once again for watching with us. I'm going to be back tomorrow night for the Captain Logan Show at 8 Central. So join me for that if you're so inclined. And then
I will not be back.
And then late Friday night, we'll also be back late Friday night. We're going to do our spoiler cast finally for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And then Sunday night, I might be doing a secret show, but I don't want to tell you what yet in case it doesn't work out. So anyway, once again, thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you